Hello, Internet! I'm Eric.
Insert blank, and I'm Ike.
And you're listening to Just Cool Enough, and it's always a lot more awkward when I do it, because I just don't know how to do it right. And you're listening to Just Cool Enough, and we're going to do a show for you, sans Joe, because Google.
Just Cool Enough, a truly unique low-carb bar.
Is that what we're going for?
Yeah.
Good to know. So yeah, Joseph Cariati is not going to be here because he's a tool. Apparently, he told us last week he wasn't going to be here, which is a fucking lie. And then just called me this morning at like 10:30 and wondered why I was like out of it. I was like, I don't know, because fucking 10:30, son of a bitch. Not all of us live in crazy moon time lands, you know, where you're already eating lunch. Some of us are just getting up at 10:30 because my life is easy. Except for, well, I need to get my rest up because this time next week I will have officially moved into my new place. So I need to like be all rested and ready because I gotta lift a lot of shit and carry it down a fucking elevators and shit into a thing just to drive it 3 miles and drag it through more hallways and elevators and shit. Moving sucks.
Yeah, it does. I'm moving too, but I'm moving to a third floor that has no elevator, so I have to figure out how to get a glass top desk up a spiral staircase, pretty much, pretty narrow one, and my bed. But at least my roommate told me long ago that when I moved into this apartment, I wasn't allowed to bring anything I couldn't fit in my room. So I only have a desk, a bed, and like a bunch of small stuff. So it'll be pretty easy to get over there into a 2-bedroom apartment. But I was told by the landlord, because he's been fixing up, that will not in fact be ready for me to move in this weekend. So he's going to try to fix up 1 bedroom so I can move into 1 bedroom, but he won't charge me rent till he finishes the rest of it. So
that's good to know. Yeah, thankfully we get the keys Friday, so we'll be able to move like smaller shit in the car, and then so that just leaves the fucking furniture for Monday. Ugh. Thankfully, we had to buy a refrigerator because I guess apartments now don't come with refrigerators anymore. So we had to buy one, but they're just going to deliver that on Saturday. So I was like, God, I'd hate to have to carry that in. Thank God we hired some Mexicans to do it for us.
All they need is a place to live. We also, I think, did you end up with a new video game this week from Jack Move?
I did.
What did you end up getting from him?
Jack Move gave me the critically acclaimed video game on Steam, Mission Runway. It is basically a knockoff of Project Runway. It was made in like 2003. I actually played a little bit of it. He demands that because at first he was like, "Who wants Train Simulator 2012?" And I was like, "Joke's on you! Someone already bought that for me." So instead, he bought me Mission Runway, which thank you, Jack Move, for that. Also, thank you to guy on Steam, Numa the Dwarf Hunter, who bought me The Walking Dead, which is nice. It's not a joke gift, and actually a gift I wanted. So thank you very much for that.
So are you talking about like Project Runway, like the TV fashion show?
Yeah, I played it. It looks really simplistic. Like you dress up your model in like a bunch of things. There's like a handful of things you can wear in each like slot, like a dress or a pants or whatever. And you can kind of change like the pattern and stuff like that, and then you're just judged on it. But I don't understand how the points how the judging works. So I just stood there, and then they told me I had no fashion sense, but apparently I wasn't kicked off. I got like 3rd place. I was like, what the fuck is this game? It doesn't even, how does it work? I don't understand.
I didn't even know. I want to know who came up with that game. Like when they were sitting around, I would have loved to sit on that dev team. Yeah. But speaking of Jack Move, we have an email from Jack Move. Jack Move also this week gave me Fear 1, which was on my wish list.
Apparently, he gave Joe, like, he's like, I got him this game, which had this really fucking weird title, but it actually looked like an interesting game. Like, I don't know, it was like some kind of board game, but it had some weird title that sounded vaguely sexual, but there was nothing sexual about the game.
It's like insertion. So, thank you, Jack Move, for all the video games.
Oh, Dangerous High School Girls in Trouble. It was the game he bought.
Sounds
Joe.
Like a bad, like anime, like
yeah.
tentacle porn anime.
I looked at the video. I don't know. It was a weird. It's like a strategy game, board game thingy. That I don't know if it was any good, but it didn't look nearly as awesome as Mission Runway.
Well, I'm gonna play Fear in the Dark when I move into my new apartment. It'll be fun. Let's see. Anyway, Jack Move writes, am I an asshole? You're all assholes. Or I'm an asshole. You're all assholes. There we go. Lazy, Slobby, and Ike. David C. here, a.k.a. Jack Move. Thanks for the shout-out last week. What on earth, or off-earth, are you thinking insulting the listeners at the end of the show? How dare you turn the tides on us? It's our jobs as listeners to insult you, not the other way around. I find this offensive and degrading. Fuck you, Joe. Eric, you lazy twat. Ike, meh. Anyways, always on to the true purpose of this email. Get a job, Eric. Catch you next week. Jack Move. P.S. When is the next episode of Max Speed coming out?
Well, I can't get a job. Well, I could get a job, but I'm currently attending, as my mom calls it, clown college, which... because I've been taking classes at UCB, so she said, gotta take your ass to clown college. Apparently my dad thought that was an offensive thing when my sister told him about it. She's like, yeah, Eric's been going to clown college. He's like, don't fucking say that. That's mean. And she's like, no, he calls it clown college too. I was like, only after Mom started calling it that. Just to keep from crying, I pretended I was part of the joke.
I think we make fun of the listeners at the end of the show because we figured nobody important ever listens that far.
And most people stop listening when we get to that spiel about Twitter and all that shit. Most people tune out. So, who gives a fuck?
It's like extras on a movie. It's the Easter eggs.
Yeah. It's the thing that comes after the credit, but not for like a Marvel movie, for like Super Mario Brothers. So nobody gave a shit to stay past the credits to see that god-awful, whatever, like, bookend at the end of it. By the way, if you stay past the credits, there's a bookend where Daisy shows up and she's like all covered in smoke and's got a big gun and John Leguizamo's like, Daisy, oh my god, and she's like, Luigi, you'll never guess what happens, and that's like it.
I think they need to remake Mario Brothers again. That should be the next remake.
Definitely, they definitely need to do that. And they need to get the exact same actors.
And the same script, just update the technology.
Especially because the guy who played Koopa died of pancreas cancer. Like
so they'll just have him like strung up.
Yeah. They can CGI that in, or they will just use that same performance, and then like they did with Marlon Brando in that last Superman movie, they'll just like digitize and put the same lines in there. It'd be perfect.
We have an email from Rob King. Whoever he is. He says, Cats are Diablo himself. Hey guys, you probably don't remember me, but I moved from England to California at the end of December of last year to be with my now wife. I thought it was time I'd send you another rare email to you guys while you're short in link my life to your recent episode. While you're short and whatever.
I was like, it's funny, like obviously the and my now wife makes a sense grammatically, but it sounds like it's like and the wife I have now as opposed to the one I moved here so I can be with my now wife, not my past wife or future wife. Anyways,
since being here and sweating my ass off every day in this crazy heat for now 7 months, my wife has been pestering me for a cat, which costs almost $300, just to get the thing in the apartment, yet alone the $60 a month to have it there and food. So I need to hire that kid to kill all cats and save me money. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for entertaining me each week, and let us know dates for improv so we can see Eric perform.
I already did August 4th, and I think you like joined my Facebook post thingy. It's just funny. I think he like messaged me. He's like, I live in Los Angeles. It's like, no, you fucking don't. You live in Chino. That isn't Los Angeles. Fuck you. I'm like a purist now.
Let's see. Hope. I don't know where I was. All right. P.S. I'll try sending pics of us and for us and Bree since you asked me to last time. Although I've tanned a lot. Love you guys. Keep the awesome podcast and look forward to next week's episode. Rob King from Chino, and he sent us a picture of him and his girlfriend. I would assume his girlfriend. I mean, it could be somebody else, but he was talking about his now wife. Yeah. Or his wife now, whichever way you look at it.
It's weird though, because living in Los Angeles, people are like, "Yeah, I live in Los Angeles," and you look, and they're literally an hour away, but it's nothing but house. Like it's so weird. Like it's metropolitan in all directions. You have to go an hour out of your way to reach something that's not, just parking lots and buildings.
There's things other than parking lots and buildings.
Yeah, well, in Northern California, it's like after every like couple of blocks, you hit like 7 miles of just open fields or rice paddies. So it's weird that there's just city in all directions. Like normally you can tell when you get to a different city in Northern California because there's a city now, and you get to the edge of a city and it disappears for a while, and then you show up and there's city again. Here you just have to assume they're just signs. It's like, oh, by the way, you're in a different city, I guess. It's like, what? Okay. It all looks the same.
Oh, by the way, new city.
By the way, this is Orange County now. Is it? It looks exactly the fucking same.
We have 4 emails in total. This is the third one from Karmic Terror. He says, Ike, you're now awesome. Hey, Joe, Ike, and Eric with a K. This, of course, is Karmic Terror. Ike, I just realized you know how the fuck to play Magic the Gathering after listening to the podcast where you tell a story of getting your katana. Just wondering, do you play it often or at all anymore? I'm a Magic player, and I've been playing for about 2 years, and have got third in Friday Night Magic tournaments twice. If you do play, what color do you play? Joe and Eric with a K, smiley face. I have a question for you two. If you had to commit to genocide to one friendly alien race from any television series, what would it be? Well, I'm gonna go be a dumbass. Your number one fan, Karmic Terror. P.S. Misspelled your name on purpose, Eric. Now with a C. P.P.S. Hashtag white people problems.
So, how much Magic do you know?
I still play when I can. Usually I don't play too much of the new stuff just because I've been watching my money. But I buy new cards when I can. I typically like to play blue, and I like to play decks where I don't actually have to do any damage. I just like being the asshole that makes people sit there and do nothing. My favorite deck that I have is Stasis deck. So
blue,
basically,
mostly.
You just sit there, you play Stasis, they can't untap, you let them just keep drawing cards until they run out of deck and they can't do anything because anything they play comes into play tapped.
Yeah.
And so they draw themselves out and you look like an asshole, and I love those kind of decks.
I played a little bit of Magic in high school. Me and my friends got into it a little. But like everything we got into in high school, my friend Ricky got really into, had to learn everything, had to buy the best cards, and totally fucking kicked our asses every time we played. So it was just, it became the point where, like, seriously, stop. I'm going to stop playing games with you if you keep doing this. It's like, hey, want to play Magic? I was kind of getting into it. Fuck you! It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like, hey, I got this pure black Magic deck. I was like, really? I get the starter deck that comes with the holofoil card of the Rhino guy. I don't fucking know. Like, I just bought cards and I put them in my deck. I can have 60 cards, so I just have 60 cards. I have no color or anything like that. I do kind of, I favored Forest a little bit. I don't know why, just because I happen to have a lot of Forest cards, but I downloaded not the full version but the demo version of Magic 2013 on my iPad, and I was playing around with that a lot. It's fun. It kind of goes, oh, I remember how to play this. So it's a fun game. I enjoy it. It's definitely, Ike, if you haven't played the iPad version, you should try that. Get that.
I think I tried to download it at one point, and then my iPad was like, you don't have enough memory on here. Put it on here. I was like, son of a gun. So I have it now.
4 gigs for the win.
Yeah, I have the small one, the 16. But it's taken up by my pictures now. I didn't realize photography was going to become such a big thing, and all my pictures take up all my space. I think the weirdest game that I've ever played, and I can sum it up really quick, is in high school you used to have house rules. You put all your land down, and you can draw 7 cards when you run out of cards in your hand. So I made this deck that ran off of a burn spell from the Unglued set. It does X damage to Y creatures and Z players. So I made an entire deck of nothing but land, but this one burn spell, with the idea that if the closer you get to the bottom of the deck, the more damage you could do. And I gave it to one kid because he was always being beat by everyone, and I felt bad. So I was like, here's the deck. I didn't tell him what was in it. He didn't bother looking. He just played it. And again, he perpetually lost, but when he drew the burn spell, he had enough to kill everyone at the table and win the game, but instead he killed himself because he felt like it was I don't know, worth it somehow. And the kid sitting across from him, because there were 6 of us playing. And then we're like, you could have killed us all. It's like, oh, well, I didn't want to. I wanted to kill myself. I'm like,
yeah, I remember I'd play this card that required a ridiculous amount of land and creatures of each type out, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna be right. Like, you could never play, like, none of your games ever last long enough. And in the rare chance when I could ever possibly have played it, somebody would have just done a counter card and just countered it right away. So it was just a pointless fucking card that I was like, this is the greatest card ever, and it wasn't.
Heart of the cards. Yeah.
I did play. I never played the actual card version, but I played like the Game Boy version of Yu-Gi-Oh, and I played a lot of the WoW card game. We played virtually against WoW radio people and stuff, and like once or twice at BlizzCon, I played the actual card game with cards we bought at BlizzCon. But yeah, card games are fun, but I like the digital versions better because you don't have to buy all the fucking cards.
There's actually a couple cool card games too out for the iPad that are similar to Magic that I play. But I have to agree with you. Although I think both of them, just like World of Warcraft, they're a money sink in a way. You keep buying more cards that come out with better stuff, and you can't play with the old stuff because better stuff beats it. I mean, it's a genius marketing.
Yeah. But
money sink. We have this, speaking of Magic cards and things like that, apparently LOL and Pokemon from Vancouver. This is Kurt. He says, Dear Eric, Ike, and Joe, had to make sure, I corrected myself. Not sure if this will make it to this week's show. I would like to say that I was on vacation or something interesting, but that would be a lie. So I ran into a pair, Nami silver version and gold version of the game of League of Legends, sorry. And then suddenly it was 5 a.m. and I was playing Heart Gold because I was too lazy to find my old GBC. However, I never actually completed Gold despite playing it close to 20 times. So it should be interesting to see if I can finally manage it. Favorite Pokemon games? ? Also, I was wondering if Eric was going to do Eric's opinion of Dark Souls for the PC. I just saw a pre-order on Steam, and fuck yeah. Cheers from Vancouver, Kurt.
Well, I already did a review of the console version, and I don't think the PC version is going to be all that different. So see Eric's opinion video for the Xbox version, and plus the PC version is going to cost money. I would love to review PC games more, but they cost money. Like, you can't rent PC games for the most part, which is why I stick to console games because I don't have any money. In terms of favorite Pokemon games, I haven't played all that many of them. I played Blue, and I played that to death. I at least twice through, I think, and I fucking loved Blue so much. I think I've told the story about how I got bad grades, and my parents were gonna take it away, my Pokemon Blue. So I cracked it open and I swapped it for the innards for like another Game Boy game, so that when they came to take Pokemon Blue, they would take it, and it would just be like, I don't know, fucking Yoshi's Cookie or something stupid like that I didn't care about. But I did have Pokemon Gold, which I was really happy about. I got Pokemon Gold, and I was all about Pokemon Gold, and I still played it on my original Game Boy, the one that came out in the 80s, like late 80s, that I bought in the late 80s, that I'd left in the sun, so it turned piss yellow. It was like the biggest thing. Like, I took this, the Game Boy I took to a Pokemon tournament once, and like the guy had his cool like mini one with like, it was see-through purple and stuff like that, and mine is this piss yellow monstrosity the size of a brick. So I played Pokemon Gold on it, and I was all about Pokemon Gold. And then one day I was in the bathroom playing Pokemon Gold, and I dropped my Game Boy, and it finally fucking died on me. And I just didn't get a Game Boy Advance. And then when I got my 3DS, I thought, finally I'll be able to beat Pokemon Gold. But the 3DS doesn't play Game Boy games. It plays Game Boy Advance, but not Game Boy. So I was like, shit, now I just never going to beat Pokemon Gold. So I still have it somewhere in my room. It's never been beaten. I got pretty far into it, but it's just like, I have nothing to play on it.
And I have admitted before I've never played any of the Pokemon games. Still haven't played them. Really? I don't really have a desire to play them.
They're fun. They're actually for video. They're probably some of the most intense like strategy RPGs out there that are aimed at children. Like children play these games, and they're actually really intense. They do get kind of that rock paper scissors, which I think that's why they introduced like the dual battles where you do two Pokemon at the same time. Or I think now that there's more than that. I don't know about the later ones, but yeah, they're actually fairly intense RPGs for little kids to learn on and get into. But yeah, I was never really got past many of those. I did. I remember I got Pokemon Coliseum for the Nintendo. Well, actually, I got the Pokemon Coliseum themed Nintendo 64, so I could plug my Pokemon Blue into there, so I can get the Pokemon. Because you could, if you played through the Coliseum, you could unlock the Pokemon that you couldn't get. Like I got the other starter ones, like Squirtle and Charmander and stuff, and some of the ones that were only available in red. And so I was pretty into it when I was younger. I was like all about it when I was a kid. I watched the anime in junior high. I was pretty much into Pokemon, but then I hit that like late junior high where it's like none of this kid stuff, no more cartoons. Man, I'm only gonna watch adult things and be sad about life. You know, that stage of high school that some of us go through. And then I graduated high school and I was like, fuck, I missed out on all the good cartoons. Everyone's talking about all these cartoons. Hey, remember these cartoons? I'm like, no, I don't remember none of them.
I never get paid in gum.
Yeah, that's basically how I felt during college. Like, I'm a nerd that doesn't get all the references. Woe is me.
I've watched a few of the episodes of Pokemon, but not all the way through. I don't know, they just didn't quite hold. I felt it was too kind of wash, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
I know that there were probably overarching storylines to follow, which also meant that by only watching a few of them, I didn't get them.
Not really. It was an incredibly repetitive show that it didn't make any goddamn sense most of the time. None of the Pikachu was weak. It was simultaneously weak and strong against everything. Like he'd fight something and then get defeated, but then he'd fight it again and somehow beat it, even if it was like a water Pokemon. It's like Pikachu couldn't take what how many levels did he gain in it? It doesn't matter. He fucking wins. Of course he wins at the end. And Team Rocket wants to steal Pikachu. Like, well, you can't get a Pikachu somewhere else? Fucking, I guess. Like, if I saw a Pikachu that was that fucking could dominate everything, like, hey, this Pikachu can take on the giant rock monstrosity. Yeah, he seems like a pretty fucking special Pokemon.
See, all you have to do is, get your hands on Pikachu, bet on the first round, bet the other guy will win. You'll make money. And then on the second round, bet that your Pokemon Pikachu will win. And then you'll make more money. So really, you could just make lots of money off Pokemon betting.
Yeah.
Like Apocalypse. If you haven't seen that on YouTube, go check it out.
It was also kind of depressing because Ash gets a Charmander and he's like, "Sweet Charmander, you're my best friend." And then Charmander evolves and then just becomes this asshole who hates him. So now he's got this Pokemon that just doesn't like him anymore. And it's like there for an entire season, this Pokemon that just fucking hates him and won't do anything. I was like, that's depressing as shit. Why would you do that to a child? This is sad now. I'm sad now. Why is Charmander or Charizard such an asshole? Charmander was awesome. He saved Ash's life when they were freezing to death in that ice cave, and now Charizard's just this huge prick.
Oh, yeah, in Ascension, by the way, now that I remember about it. Ascension is the game that's like Magic for the iPad. You should check it out. But that covers all our emails, all 4 of them. So if you want to email us, like these wonderful people have emailed us, you can do that at any point during the week by emailing us at thisshow@justgoingoff.com.
Yeah,
we'll go straight to our inbox. Maybe you, too, can have your stuff read out.
But probably not. Well, probably, because...
You have a better chance of getting it read out when you give us free video games.
Yeah, that does help. Especially when it's of the caliber of Mission Runway.
Watch out what you wish for.
I know. Ugh. Speaking of getting things or doing things to get things, I don't fucking know. I'm trying to create a transition here. Trying to create segues and stuff. I don't fucking know. Apparently... there was this 4-year-old girl who was diagnosed with some form of cancer. She had cancer, and she underwent a lot of treatment for this cancer. I forget which type they said, but she's apparently been after she's gone through all her treatment and stuff, like this horrific treatment that costs a lot of money and stuff like that, and finally is through her last treatment. And they can't officially say that she's cancer-free for like the next 5 years, but it's pretty convincing that she probably won't have cancer again, and things are fine. So the Make-A-Wish Foundation, as they do with a lot of these types of kids, they say, hey, you had cancer, or you're dying of cancer, or all this stuff, we'll give you what you want. And this one thing this 4-year-old girl wanted was to go to Disneyland, or Disney World, and Make-A-Wish was like, okay, we'll take it. We'll send you out there, Disney World. You got cancer? Fucking go to Disney World and have the time of your 4-year-old fucking life. And the only problem is that Make-A-Wish requires signatures from both parents, and her father saying that because she'd gone through a treatment and was technically cancer-free, doesn't deserve Disneyland, so he would not sign off on it. Father of the Year. So I
know you came close to death, but you're better now, so suck it up and move forward.
Yeah, that cancer thing was like last week. Quit your bitching. Oh, I want to go to Disneyland because I have cancer. Fuck you. I don't get a lot of things I want. It's time you learn that at 4 years old.
Nobody ever pays me income now. Shut up.
Yeah, nobody ever lets me to go to cancer. I stubbed my toe last week. Where's my Disneyland? Huh? Uppity bitch. Apparently, though, the family is taken to just accepting donations and whatnot, and apparently raised the money to go anyways that they would have needed, so the 4-year-old can actually go. I just thought
Dad's like, sorry, we have all these medical bills. We're going to be taking that money and putting it towards your medical bills because you almost died. You fuck.
We're not. Yeah, the dad takes all that money and he goes to the strip club. It's like, seeing you die in there was stressful for me. Okay, I deserve this. I
know what I'm gonna do when my kid gets cancer and beats it. I'm gonna say no. How dare you live like a child?
Yeah. How dare you want to go to the happiest place on earth after surviving something that crushes most healthy adults.
Teach you to get cancer again.
I know. Well, if she wanted to go to Disneyland, why did she have to fight that cancer? She couldn't have just kept the cancer for a little longer, then she would have gone to Disneyland. But no. Father of the Year.
I know. I think it's good that he put his foot down and let her know that, you're not always going to get everything in life.
Yeah.
And that it's not all just, rainbows and gumdrops.
Listen, I know you're a cancer patient and you've had to deal with that, but life isn't as easy as it is for a 4-year-old with cancer. Like you have it easy. What with being 4 years old and having cancer, you just have it too easy.
The kids over in Africa were starving, and you're over here complaining because you have cancer.
Crazy.
Good for Dad.
Yeah. Well, maybe he was just worried that the Make-A-Wish Foundation would be spending a little too much money. And Disneyland doesn't really have the kinds of discounts that they have in other theme parks, like this theme park in China. Apparently, a theme park in China called Maryland, which is basically their equivalent, their unlicensed version of Disneyland. I don't know how much it resembles Disneyland or whatnot, but it's basically kind of the Chinese equivalent of Disneyland. Is offering up to, I think they said, half off to park attendants for women wearing mini skirts shorter than 38 inches. Apparently, the promotion is to it's kind of to celebrate summer and wanting women to show off more of their body and whatnot, and also encourage, I guess, men to show up and look at all these women in tiny little skirts, I guess, and hot pants. No short dresses or hot pants. It has to be skirts, apparently, mini skirts.
Because they have, a certain level of, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, we got to keep some standards.
Yeah, I know. We're not. What is this? This is apparently, though, some of the people in the residents of this area are concerned because they feel that this this is encouraging women to behave erotically in public. So there is some outcry towards this, probably just from fat chicks, you know.
It's always the fat chicks ruining it for everyone.
So maybe if this little 4-year-old girl with cancer would just wear a mini skirt, then she'd get into Disneyland a lot easier.
Or at least the Chinese Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many things wrong with that statement right there, but that works. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So I think
it's genius. You don't have to pay women to come in and dress skimpy when you can just encourage regular women to come in and get a discount. So you're still making money rather than paying money, and you're getting all the men to come to see it.
I know it's brilliant marketing. Over here in America, we have ours is fucking the worst. Like it's like, come to Six Flags and get 25% off if you bring a can of Coke. Yeah, that's great. Half off for people who drink sugar water all day. So basically, hey, if you're a total fat ass who couldn't fit on the rides anyways, we'll let you in for cheap. No, that's not what you want to do. You should be like 25% off if you show us your gym membership. That's how, because that's what we need to do. We need to start a campaign, a letter writing campaign, to get places like these to start admitting people based on. Yeah, I don't think it's wrong to start, giving people discounts and priority admittance into theme parks based on their looks. I don't see how anyone could have a problem with that.
Especially in the summertime when they should be wearing skimpy outfits and looking sexy, not trying to figure out how to get their Twinkie ass into a bikini.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a perfect way to encourage people. I mean, if you told me that Disneyland was full of chicks in short skirts right now, I would be all over there. But if you told me that it was filled with the people that attend Disneyland, which is, fat families and their fat children, which is all that's there, then I'd be less inclined to go there.
So, see, these guys, they know what they're doing.
And they got, I mean, this is why China is winning. This is why they're kicking our ass.
Now, if you want to get into our breast detection school and you are a woman willing to help us, if you also, in fact, wear a miniskirt to get into the school, you don't have to pay as much for tuition. Yeah,
it will actually waive tuition fees if you send us a webcam video of you detecting your own breasts. Like, we just need, because if you have the prerequisite skills, we don't want to like hinder your education and future career placement. So just the show, justgoingLeft.com, webcam, you detecting your breast. Show us your breast detection techniques on yourself, obviously, or several of your attractive friends who are above the legal age of consent. Totally, and we will totally just waive tuition at our school for you.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, I mean it's
Win-win.
Science. There's nothing perverted about it. It's just scientific. I mean, we didn't say that you have to be topless when you're doing it. I'm not saying that couldn't hurt. I'm just saying, it's totally. You come into school to learn a technique, and we want to see how well you can do it beforehand.
Now, if for some reason you want to become a professor at the school, and you're female, we need a video of you detecting your own breasts and a peer. Because we need to know that you know what you're doing and can perform it on others and show them.
Yeah. Speaking of videos of women breasts, have you seen this shit?
What?
Oh my god, this is so funny.
Dude, you totally need to check this out.
Oh god, that's disgusting.
I saw that 2 weeks ago. Oh, yeah. This week's Have You Seen This Shit comes to us from the Junior World Championship in Barcelona, the women's hurdling event. I'm sure that many of you have already heard of this young lady, but Michelle Janicki, who is a young hurdler who has made basically internet nerds all the world over fall in love with her because during this live event, she performed her I guess, I don't know if it's her traditional warm-up dance that she does before an event that she performed, which someone later slowed down and put to music, and so it's this girl in very little athletic clothing, dancing around, being all cute. And then she wins a hurdling event. So it's like, yes. And she has an Australian accent, which is the sexiest accent I think that there is for women. I'm just gonna say it.
I say leave it to the internet to take something like this and slow it down and set it to some kind of odd, sexy music.
Yeah, this is obviously it's big and it's got 12 million views and stuff like that. But there's also one of the people I've used, the guys that do Bro Team Pill on Machinima. They do like just other funny videos with people, and they did it where they edited one of their guys in the background, just like totally creeping out, going yeah, like removing his sunglasses and stuff and bobbing his head as she did the dance. It's totally awesome. But if you haven't seen it, you can obviously go to our website, justcoolenough.com, and you will thank us later. Please email us and thank us for this link if you've yet to find it. Or you can go to BuzzFeed and just look up the animated GIFs if you're just into that sort of thing.
Well, I mean, if you need something long term because you're into something, 3 minutes video, better than a GIF. I hate repeating GIFs. Personal opinion, though.
That's fine. To each their own. Speaking of transitions and the internet, I guess we'll go with the internet. That was internet themed, internet popularity, viral. Oh, well, we'll go with another part of the internet, trolling. So apparently the United States government has decided that there are obviously a lot of websites for radical organizations that are basically people arguing about foreigners arguing about why America sucks and should be destroyed and whatnot. And often these types of websites are cited as where potential terrorists are found and get together and plot out get together so they can plot out attacks and whatnot. And the government has in the past used things like denial of service and stuff like that in trying to take down these websites. But instead, the State Department is going with a different route. They are calling this program Virtual Peace, where they are hiring basically internet trolls, 4chan beatards, essentially, to troll these forums, all these websites and whatnot that they look for. Not just like different levels. They're using logic, humor, satire, and religious arguments against these fundamentalist websites and try and demoralize them, which I think is a weird but interesting tactic. I don't. It's just like that might be. I don't know. I don't
Rats
know how,
trolled by the government again.
Yeah. Could you imagine that? Like some just fat neckbeard sitting all day browsing 4chan, trolling every day, especially like anyone who posts on /v, and then just like the government kicks in his door. He's like, I swear I didn't post that CP. No, your government needs you.
I know what I'm going to strive to do with when I grow up now.
Yeah, this will be like
a neckbeard and troll.
Yeah, it's like, I got my master's degree in trolling with a minor in Goatsy.
Oh.
That would be an amazing career path. Like, the internet has come up with so many weird career paths, like people who are professional Twitterers for companies and Facebookers, not professional trolls. Like that's the new Web 2.0 career. Is you go and troll things. I mean, it already
What do you do? Oh, I work for the government. Oh yeah, doing what? Trolling.
I'm a secret agent for the government. Oh, do you go undercover and stuff? No, I go to websites and stuff, and I post pictures of Mohammed, but with like Jesus jizzing on his face,
Poorly photoshopped, to put.
It's mostly stick figures, and rage comics, but somebody's got to do it. I'm proud of my country. I'm
a vet.
Yeah.
I did it overseas. In Afghanistan, I was trolling from a computer.
Yeah. What? Yeah, some guys like in the vet line. He's like, "Hey, how'd you lose your fingers?" "Oh, I lost them in the Reddit wars of 2013. Carpal tunnel, man. Oh, I was just trolling so hard, and my sergeant was like, 'Get out of there!' And I was like, 'No, sir, I will do this.' I actually got the Purple Heart and the Distinguished Service Cross for my trolling." You can't troll that. I will troll this. Basic training for trolls. You have to troll while also fapping to pony porn and making a hot pocket.
Hot Pocket.
Hot pocket. Hot pocket, the official snack of counterinsurgency.
I feel like that would be a good picture to make, and then put that on 4chan. We know you're out there. Oh, they're onto us, sir. We're listening to this internet podcast on the radio, and they're onto us. Troll them hard. Yes, sir. I'm still watching that girl running.
Yeah, we still have to watch that. Move over. What's your face? I've already forgotten your name. Kate Upton. We're all about Michelle, whatever her face is.
It doesn't matter as long as she has a face and a pair of breasts.
And she does. And she does.
So what else do we got?
Well, I wanted to talk about something important. I know we got a lot of listeners out there. We joke around about sexy hurdlers and stuff, but this is an important topic for a lot of our listeners probably don't know about. Tax laws are a big thing. I mean, we get these days. I mean, we always talk about don't raise taxes, don't lower taxes, blah blah blah. But there are a lot of people not paying their share with taxes that just get away with. There are plenty of loopholes. You know, corporations, private citizens, everyone is just trying to find a way to not pay taxes. Especially, there's one particular group of individuals that has really not been paying their taxes, which is why an analyst named a professor of law at Arizona State University, Adam Chowdhury, published a 25-page paper about one particular group of people who just aren't really pulling their weight, which obviously brings us to this week's Zombie Watch!
Zombie Watch.
Yeah, apparently he wrote a 25-page paper analyzing the issues of the government would face should and when the Walking Dead, the dead ever rise from their graves and begin walking the earth, because and what that would have to do with tax purposes. He says one of these things is most self-motivated zombies would likely be considered alive under most state definitions. Such zombies must have a biological mechanism that helps them think and move. So technically, under many state laws, they are alive. So they should be paying taxes. But you know, how can you actually levy tax income against the undead and stuff like that? And he mentions, on the other hand, you know, he talks about vampires are like zombies undead, but unlike zombies, they retain faculties of intelligence and dexterity. So he suggests that you know, if Congress were to exempt taxes from zombies, you know, would vampires still have to pay taxes and stuff like that? So really, why would you make? This is the kind of thing. It's like, why didn't I think about this and write a science fiction novel about this?
About zombies paying taxes?
Yeah, like, because there's this one I want to read. I forget what it's called. It was like about how the universe has been pirating music from Earth because Earth has the best music, and they've been pirating for centuries without knowing it. And then they realized that because of copyright laws, they owe, you know, so much in copyright infringement funds to Earth that it's basically going to bankrupt the universe. So instead of paying, they just want to destroy the Earth.
That makes logical sense.
I think it's called like Year Zero or something like that. It came out last year. I want to read it. It's basically, it's kind of like a parody of our copy protection and copyright laws. But yeah, so
basically what it's telling you is that rather, if you get in trouble for pirating, you should just kill the government rather than pay it.
Well, and the whole thing is like this one guy who's a copyrights lawyer has to try and negotiate with the entire rest of the universe as to what, you know, giving us money and not blowing us up. So that's an interesting thing. But you can't reason with zombies. And it's like, hey, excuse me, zombie, you kind of back taxes. You got a lot of child support payments. Just because you became a member of the living dead does not mean you can scorn your responsibilities. Sir, I'm trying to talk to you. It's a serious comment. Sir, if you're just going to make that, I will call the police if you don't. Now, there's no need to get angry. So, you just can't talk to him.
I think I felt like I was sitting in on a real thing.
Yeah, thank you. And scene.
I see why you go to your clown college now.
Yeah, exactly, right? You could have jumped in there and yes-anded it. We could have developed something that it might have been the
I didn't want to ruin it, though. You're doing so well.
I know. I was just playing by myself. That's how it must.
That's about all I could add. Yeah.
I don't care that you're getting remarried. I still have to pay child support. Speaking of things that are ridiculous, dogs. So we mentioned about cats a lot last week, but we didn't mention about dogs. Dogs always, because dogs are actually domesticated, whereas cats aren't domesticated. They're just too small to eat us. Dogs are domesticated and have been for thousands of years, and that's why they're man's best friend. But sometimes even man's best friend steps over bounds. Apparently in Indiana, there was a car crash where allegedly the driver of the car, a 34-year-old man, fell out of the car while making a turn, and then the car continued on and crashed into several things while the dog was the only passenger. But what I think really happened is this is a cover-up. This dog was driving this car, and he's just terrible at it because dogs are terrible at driving cars.
Like women.
No, I think it's worse because they don't have quite the depth perception and they can't see colors.
And the opposable thumbs.
Yeah, so it's hard for them to drive. Most of them can't quite see over the if they're going to use the pedals on the steering, they can't do it all. It's way too much. They don't have the dexterity to operate a vehicle like a human can. So I think this dog just decided this owner and this dog were really close. You get really close to your dogs. Dogs are very loyal. And the dog's like, hey man, can I just take the car out for a spin? He's like, you know what? Why not? Here's the keys. And the dog's like, thanks man. And the dog drives around, crashes into a bunch of stuff. And then he's like, my owner did it. I'm just a dog. I don't know.
Genius.
I mean, it's perfect crime. I mean, what are you going to arrest? You can't get him in trouble for crashing the car because he wasn't there. And what are you going to arrest the dog? Dogs aren't bound by our laws. Thankfully, they're too stupid to realize that they could just take over. I mean, there are all these laws for cats, but no one suspects the dogs because they're loyal.
Don't speak too loud. They could be listening.
My dog doesn't care. She's stupid.
As she secretly hatches, she's hatching a plan. She's plotting right now and scheming.
I'll just throw some baloney at her and she'll forget about it. Yeah. She's just a stupid dog. She don't know.
God, all I need is a neutron. Oh my God, it's a ham.
Yeah. Soon our plans will be like turkey.
What was I saying again? I don't remember. It's not important.
Yeah. But speaking of crimes, cyber crimes. I don't know about you, Ike, but I played Deus Ex, the video game where Adam Jensen, who didn't ask for this, got turned into mostly robot because he got beat up real bad by robots. So they gave him all these sweet robot parts, including a robot eyes. Well, apparently robot eyes do exist. There's a professor of some place, Stephen Mann, who has what he calls a wearable computer, this eye device that's actually, it's not just like a thing he wears. It's actually like connected to a skull that he wears. It gives him sort of digital vision. It's kind of like that Google Glass mock-up that they did. And it's just something, he wears it everywhere, and it allows him to process video through his brain and stuff. It's just, experimenting with cybernetics and the future. But, it's something that he does. Well, apparently he walked into, like, a McDonald's, and, like, they got all uppity, and, like, we're like, take off the glasses. And he's like, I fucking can't. It's attached to my eyes. And, like, tried to grab it, and, like, they broke the fucking thing trying to pull it off his skull when it's attached. And then they're like, oh, and they, like, kicked his ass out of the McDonald's, and McDonald's is like, we never heard of you. Fuck off. But because he's wearing a fucking camera on his eye, he has pictures of everyone who was involved. Like, he's like, no, I mean, I got a doctor's note. It says here that's like attached to my fucking skull. And they're like, fuck that. And they ripped it up and kicked his ass out and stuff like that. But he's got all these pictures of their faces and all the shit that went down and stuff like that. So McDonald's is investigating the matter. But clearly, this is the first incident of cybernetic hate crimes.
I'm just like looking at the picture and then reading the part about how you can't remove this thing without special tools. And just imagining somebody trying to rip it off my skull.
Yeah.
But you know, you think about RoboCop. People weren't very receptive to RoboCop, and you know, I think this is probably where it started.
Yeah, I mean, RoboCop did have some problems, and then they tried to reprogram him in RoboCop 2, and he got all like stupid and stuff. So
like you do.
Yeah, like you do. So I think the problem is that this guy was not Murphy, the cop that was blown to pieces and turned into a robot. He was just some guy, and he's still like he's just wearing weird eyeglasses that are attached to his face instead of like an intimidating robot that carries a gun. Imagine if he could pull a gun out of his thigh, then he would get a lot more respect.
Have his thigh open up and slide out, you know, gun slides out.
Maybe he does, and he just maybe he's just super advanced cybernetics, and this is just that eyepiece is just to make it look like he's not full robot now. I mean, have anyone tested that to see how robot he really is? Because what if he's like more robot than we think?
He's like 99.9% robot.
Yeah, and then like is it at that point is he machinery or is he people? Like we don't know. These are questions that we need to ask. I mean, these are questions that what can we repossess him because he's robot now? I don't know. Who knows? Get that zombie.
Sorry,
lawyer.
Mr. Jackson. You didn't pay for all of your monthly bill on part of your cybernetics. We're gonna have to remove your 99.9% robotics.
Yeah, suddenly it's like that kind of shitty movie Repo Man. Yeah, where they're ripping out your heart because you can't pay because you're behind on payments and they don't give a fuck. That's how it goes. Anyways, I think it's time we stop talking about all of this gay shit like sexy Olympic hurdlers and mini skirt discounts and start plugging each other.
All right.
I guess my plug for this week is going to be a new YouTube channel called Game Grumps. It's from Egoraptor and John Tron. Egoraptor does a lot of animation and stuff on Newgrounds, and he's hilarious. And I'd never heard of John Tron before, but he's great. And it's basically the two of them play video games together. And so far it's old Super Nintendo games, but they plan to play others. But they played so far Mega Man 7 and Zelda Link to the Past and stuff. And it's funny. It's not exactly it's not like a let's play like you say, and now we're gonna go to the castle and stuff. It's just these two kind of just hanging out playing these video games, kind of talking about it, but also making fun of each other. And it's very entertaining to watch. So if you want to check it out, it's youtube.com/user/GameGrumps.
So I had heard John Tron today while I was playing, what was it? Team Fortress. Somebody dropped his name. I'd never heard it before. Yeah. But now I know.
Now I have to go watch his stuff because he's funny. I hadn't heard of him before. But yeah, it's totally entertaining and fun to watch them. And they have a lot of content up already. And they break it down into 10, 12-minute chunks. So, you're not sitting there for an hour and a half watching it. But a lot of content already up. And they've only been around for a week.
I decided to plug this week. Same thing as I plugged last week, just because I'm a poor artist and I like making money. I posted my Instacanvas account. Most of the Instacanvas stuff for the little 12x12s are $35. And you can get any of the Instic prints I put up there. And you can follow me on Instagram. It's Ike_Dodge. It's my username. I always enjoy finding listeners to talk to. So yeah, find me there, buy my stuff, make me money so I can pay my rent and keep doing this show.
Awesome. Also, you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Duncor, DUNCOR.
And I am at Railvis, RAILVAS.
You can follow Joe if you want, but fuck that guy. And check out all the other shit we got going on our website, justcoolenough.com. Maybe throw us a few bucks because reasons. I don't know. fucking do it. Or don't. I don't really care. Anyways, that's the show. Thank you for listening to this utter bullshit, and we will see you another time. Show done.
Yay.
I think there's chicken. I'm gonna go get some chicken.